Rain hammered the windshield as Marcus Reed checked the clock for the third time. 6:18 p.m. He was already late. His 8-year-old daughter, Emma, was waiting at the community center, and he had promised her he would never be late again. Marcus hated breaking promises, especially promises to Emma. He had already broken one once. Years ago, he had promised his wife, Sarah, that he would always protect their little family. Then Sarah died. A sudden illness had taken her within weeks, leaving Marcus alone with a 5-year-old daughter and a mountain of bills. Since then, Marcus had learned how to survive on very little. He didn't own a house. He didn't have savings. He rented a tiny apartment above a mechanic's shop. His refrigerator sometimes sounded louder than the television. His old silver sedan had more scratches than paint. But Emma never complained. She would climb into the car every morning with her backpack and say, "Daddy, we're rich." Marcus would laugh. "Are we?" She would nod seriously. "We have each other." That sentence kept him alive on difficult days. That evening, however, Marcus was exhausted. He had worked a construction shift before spending the afternoon making deliveries. His hands were dirty. His shirt smelled faintly of gasoline. His wallet contained $23. He needed to pick Emma up before 7. At 6:18, he turned onto a crowded road. Then he saw the woman. She stood beside a luxury SUV with its hood open. Rain soaked her expensive black coat. Her umbrella had turned inside out. Cars passed without slowing. Marcus almost drove past. He really did. He had every reason to. He was late. He was tired. His daughter was waiting. He couldn't afford another problem. Then he saw the woman stumble. Marcus immediately pulled over. He lowered his window. "Ma'am, are you okay?" The woman looked toward him. For a second, she seemed suspicious. Then she glanced at the broken SUV. "I'm fine." Marcus looked at the rain. "You don't look fine." She almost smiled. "Do you know anything about cars?" "A little." He got out. Within 30 seconds, he was standing beside the SUV. He opened the hood. Steam rose into the rain. Marcus studied the engine. "The battery's dead." The woman sighed. "Can you fix it?" "Not without tools." She looked at his old sedan. "You have jumper cables?" "Yes." He walked back to his car. The woman followed. When she opened the passenger door, she hesitated. The interior was old. There were toys on the floor. A child's jacket hung behind the driver's seat. A small stuffed rabbit sat beside the gear shift. The woman looked at Marcus. "Your daughter?" "Yes." "How old?" 8. "What's her name?" "Emma." The woman smiled. "Pretty name." "She picked it." "She picked her own name?" Marcus laughed. "No. She picked the name for her stuffed rabbit." The woman laughed for the first time. "Oh." Marcus connected the cables. The SUV engine finally started. The woman looked relieved. "Thank you." "You're welcome." She checked her phone. The screen was dead. "Could you give me a ride downtown?" Marcus looked at the clock. 6:32. He hesitated. "I'm already late. Please." He looked at the rain. Then at her. "Okay." She climbed into the passenger seat. Marcus drove. The woman looked around the car. "You really have a lot of children's things. Emma spends half her life in here. You must be a good father." Marcus smiled. "I try." "Single father?" "Yes." "What happened?" Marcus's smile disappeared. "Her mother died." The woman immediately became quiet. "I'm sorry." "Thank you." Neither spoke for several seconds. Then the woman noticed something hanging from the rearview mirror. A worn military dog tag. Beside it was an old photograph. The photograph showed 2 young soldiers standing shoulder to shoulder. The woman leaned forward. Her entire body stiffened. "Stop." Marcus looked at her. "What?" "Stop the car." He pulled over. She pointed toward the mirror. "That." Marcus touched the dog tag. "What about it?" "Where did you get that?" "My friend." "What's his name?" Marcus looked at her. "Daniel." Her face turned pale. "Daniel what?" "Daniel Reed." The woman's lips parted. She whispered, "That's my brother." Marcus stared at her. "What?" "My brother was Daniel Reed." Marcus looked at the photograph, then at her. He felt a chill despite the warm air inside the car. "That's impossible." "Why?" "Because Daniel died 12 years ago." The woman began crying. Marcus didn't know what to do. He reached for a tissue and handed it to her. She took it. "Where did you meet him?" "Afghanistan." Her breathing became shaky. "What happened?" Marcus looked down. "An explosion." He paused. "I was trapped." She covered her mouth. "Daniel went back for me." "Why?" "Because that's who he was." Marcus stared at the rain running down the windshield. "He didn't have to." But he did. What happened? He pushed me behind a concrete barrier. Marcus's voice became quieter. The blast hit him. The woman closed her eyes. Marcus continued. I tried to get him out. His fingers tightened around the steering wheel. But I couldn't. She whispered. Was he alive? For a few minutes. Marcus touched the dog tag. He gave me this. The woman looked at it. He told me something. What? Marcus swallowed. He said, if I don't make it home, give this to my sister. She stared at him. Why didn't you? I tried. What do you mean? I sent a letter. To whom? Your father. She looked stunned. My father. Marcus nodded. I included everything I knew. Did he respond? No. Did you call? I didn't have the courage. Why? Marcus looked away. Because I felt guilty. For what? Surviving. She stared at him. Marcus continued. Everyone else came home. Daniel didn't. I couldn't understand why it was me. She whispered. He saved you. Marcus nodded. I know. And you carried his dog tag for 12 years. I made him a promise. What promise? That I'd live. She looked at him. And you did. Marcus smiled sadly. I tried. The woman wiped her tears. Then she asked, what's your name? Marcus Reed. Her eyes widened. Marcus Reed. Yes. She stared at him. I'm Evelyn Reed. Marcus froze. He recognized the name. Everyone did. Evelyn Reed was the billionaire CEO of Sterling Industries. Her company owned dozens of buildings across the city. Marcus had seen her face on television. He looked at her expensive coat, then at his battered dashboard. You didn't tell me who you were. You didn't ask. He laughed softly. Fair enough. Evelyn touched the dog tag. Why did my father never tell me? Marcus shook his head. I don't know. She looked out the window. My family spent 12 years believing Daniel died alone. He didn't. Evelyn looked at him. You were there. Yes. Then he wasn't alone. Marcus nodded. He wasn't. Evelyn looked at the photograph again. Can I ask you something? Sure. Did Daniel ever talk about me? Marcus smiled. All the time. Her eyes filled with tears. What did he say? He said you were stubborn. She laughed through her tears. That sounds like him. He said you wanted to become a lawyer. She stared at him. I did. He said you argued with everyone. I still do. Marcus laughed. He was proud of you. She covered her face. For 12 years, Evelyn had believed her brother had died without knowing whether his little sister had become the person he hoped she'd be. Now a stranger sitting beside her was telling her Daniel had been proud. That mattered more than Marcus could understand. Then Marcus glanced at the clock. 6:54 p.m. His face changed. Emma. Evelyn looked at him. What? I'm late. How late? 24 minutes. He started the car. She's going to think something happened. Evelyn smiled faintly. Then let's go get her. Marcus looked at her. You don't have to. I know. She held the dog tag gently. But I want to. Marcus drove toward the community center. Neither of them knew that waiting there was a little girl who would soon become the reason Evelyn Reed uncovered the truth about her brother's final mission. And hanging from Marcus's mirror was the only physical clue to a secret that had been buried for 12 years. When Marcus finally pulled into the community center parking lot, the rain had slowed to a drizzle. He barely put the car in park before Emma ran through the doors. Daddy. Marcus jumped out. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Emma wrapped both arms around his waist. You said you'd be here at 7. I know. She looked up at him. You were late. I was. Why? Marcus glanced toward Evelyn. Because I stopped to help someone. Emma looked at the woman stepping out of the passenger seat. Her eyes widened. Who is she? Evelyn smiled. My name is Evelyn. Emma studied her carefully. Are you Daddy's boss? Marcus laughed. No. Evelyn smiled. Not yet. Marcus looked at her. What does that mean? She ignored him. Emma pointed toward the rearview mirror. Is that Uncle Daniel? Marcus froze. Evelyn stopped breathing. What did you say? Emma looked confused. Uncle Daniel. Marcus stared at his daughter. How do you know that name? Daddy told me. Evelyn slowly walked closer. You knew about Daniel? Emma nodded. Daddy talks about him. Marcus swallowed. I told her stories. Evelyn looked at Marcus. You never stopped remembering him. No. Emma looked between them. Was he your brother? Evelyn knelt. Yes. Emma smiled. Daddy says he was brave. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. He was. Marcus placed a hand on Emma's shoulder. Come on. We should go home. But Evelyn wasn't ready to leave. She looked at Marcus. Can I see the dog tag? Marcus hesitated. Then he removed it from the mirror. He placed it in her hand. Evelyn stared at the worn metal. For 12 years, she had imagined holding something that belonged to her brother. She had expected to feel sadness. Instead, she felt warmth. This was really his. Marcus nodded. He gave it to me. Evelyn turned it over. Then she noticed something scratched into the back. A small number. April 17th, 09. She frowned. What is this? Marcus looked. I never noticed that. Neither did we. She stared at it. That's not his birthday. Marcus shook his head. No. Evelyn took a photograph of it. Do you know what it means? No. She looked at Marcus. I need to find out. The next morning, Evelyn brought the dog tag to Sterling Industries. She didn't go to her office. She went straight to the archives. Daniel had served in a special military unit before leaving the service. His official records had always been difficult to access. But Evelyn had connections. She called a retired military investigator who owed her a favor. I need information about Daniel Reed. The man paused. Your brother? Yes. What about him? Something doesn't add up. She sent him the photograph of the engraving. He called back 20 minutes later. Evelyn, where did you get this? From someone who served with him. Silence. What? A man named Marcus Reed. The investigator's voice changed. Marcus Reed. Yes. He's alive. Obviously. I thought he died. Evelyn froze. What? He was listed as missing after that operation. She sat down. That's impossible. No, it isn't. What happened? I need to check the files. 2 hours later, the investigator called again. Evelyn, your brother's official report has inconsistencies. What kind? His unit was told the entire operation was destroyed. Yes. That's not what happened. Evelyn's heart raced. What happened? 3 soldiers survived. 3. Your brother was one. She stopped breathing. What?